You know that one favorite t-shirt you have? The one that just feels perfect? Well, have you ever looked really close at it and wondered what gives it that specific look and feel? Today, we're going to be detectives and decode the secret story hidden inside the very threads of our clothes.
Okay, let's start with the classic, the heather gray t-shirt. Go ahead, look at one up close. It's not really a solid gray, is it? It's got all these little flecks of different shades, this subtle texture. So what's the deal with that? The answer is actually a super fundamental trick in fabric design.
Now you might think it's some kind of special dyeing process, but nope. The secret is actually in the raw fibers themselves, way before they're ever even spun into a single thread.
The official term for this is mélange yarn. It's a French word that literally means mixture, which is perfect because that's exactly what it is. A yarn that gets its signature look from a blend of different colored raw fibers all mixed together before they get spun. And this is basically how it's done. You take different raw fibers, say some black cotton and some white polyester, and you feed them into these rollers that combine them into this thick, soft rope called a sliver. Honestly, it's just like marbling cake batter. You're mixing the ingredients to create the pattern before you ever bake it into a fabric.
And get this, you can actually find clues to this on your own clothing labels. If you see CVC, that means chief value cotton, so there's more cotton in the blend. If you see PC, it's the opposite, polyester cotton, with polyester being the main ingredient. Pretty cool, right? Now you can decode your own tags.
And of course, mélange isn't just for gray. Not at all. This blending technique is used to create all sorts of beautiful soft colors. You can have a subtle pink or a more vibrant red, but they all have that same sense of depth and texture that you just can't get with a single dye.
And designers get incredibly specific with their recipes. Check this out. This is called Snow Heather. That unique speckled look comes from a super precise blend. 47% polyester, 38% cotton, and 15% viscose. Since each fiber takes dye differently, you end up with this really complex, almost snowy texture. So blending fibers is a huge part of the story, but it's only half of it. The way a yarn is actually twisted together, or spun, is just as crucial for creating the final look and feel of the fabric. I mean, the spinning process itself is an incredibly powerful design tool. It's not just about making thread, it's about engineering a specific texture, a specific character, right into the yarn from the start.
For example, this is a twisted yarn. Now, unlike mélange, where we blended the raw fibers before spinning, here you take 2 or more fully spun threads of different colors, and then you twist them together. This gives you that really high contrast, marled kind of barber pole effect. And that distinct twisting is what creates the classic chunky texture we all associate with a warm, cozy sweater. You can see each individual thread color pretty clearly, which gives it that signature look.
Okay, but what if you could spin 2 strands into one right from the very beginning?
Well, there's a technique that does exactly that. It's called Cerospun. As you can see in this diagram, 2 separate strands of fibers get fed through the machine right next to each other, and they're twisted into a single yarn at the very end. This actually creates a much stronger and smoother yarn.
This comparison is just fantastic. On the left, that's a standard ring-spun yarn, and you can see it's a little fuzzy, a bit hairy. But then look at the Ciro yarn on the right. See how much cleaner and smoother it is? The fibers are just locked in so much more tightly, making a really defined thread. And of course, a superior yarn creates a superior fabric. This beautifully smooth, even texture you see here is the result of that Ciro spinning process. It's why high-quality t-shirts and jersey fabrics often have that really clean look and soft, durable feel. Okay, so far we've been talking about creating these really smooth, even textures. But what if the goal is the complete opposite? Sometimes, believe it or not, the flaws you see in a fabric are actually there on purpose. Let me introduce you to Slub Yarn. This is a yarn that is deliberately spun with inconsistencies. It's designed to have thicker, softer sections, the slubs, and then thinner, more tightly twisted sections. This is not a mistake. It's a design choice to give the final fabric a unique, textured, and slightly rustic character. And here you can really see those intentional thick and thin spots in the yarn itself. The machine is literally programmed to vary its speed, creating these little soft puffs of fiber that break up the uniformity of the thread. And this just shows how much control designers can have over that flaw. On the left, you see short, subtle slubs that create a delicate, almost linear texture. But on the right, they use longer, more obvious slubs, which gives the fabric a much more rugged and organic feel. It's all about controlled imperfection. And this idea extends to other cool techniques too. Inject yarn intentionally adds tiny little tufts of fiber called neps into the yarn while it's spinning. And that's how you get that dotted or speckled look, adding another awesome layer of visual interest to the fabric.
So let's pull all these threads together, shall we? The texture of your clothes is absolutely no accident. It's a carefully crafted story told through fiber and technique.
Really, it all comes down to these three things. First, the blend. What raw materials are you mixing together before the spin? That's your melange. Second, the spin. How are you twisting them into a thread? That gives you twisted or Ciro yarns. And finally, the texture. Are you designing for smoothness, or are you creating intentional, beautiful flaws like slub yarn? These are the real building blocks of the fabrics we live in.
From now on, when you look at your clothes, you're not just going to see fabric, you're going to see the choices behind it. The melange, the slub, the spin. The story of your favorite t-shirt is written right there in its threads. The only question is, what will you read next?